So as a commercial real estate investor, HAR is absolutely critical for me, saving time, locating properties, and narrowing down viable properties immediately, and figure out exactly which one's the best to invest in before somebody else gets to it.
So I work in commercial real estate. One quiet Friday evening, I get a call. A man wants to see one of my retail centers after hours. No other tenants around. He's insistent, pushy even. Says it has to be tonight. He can't go any other time. Every instinct in me said, something's just not right. So before I agreed, I ran his name through forewarn. What came back stopped me cold. Armed robbery, assault, multiple felonies, guns, drugs, violence, over 25 counts. This man wanted me alone in a virtually empty building at night. I didn't go. Because forewarn gave me the truth. And maybe saved my life. In real estate, we meet strangers every day, but we don't have to meet them blind. Forewarn takes seconds, and it could be the difference between showing a property and not coming home. So know before you go.
Hey everyone, Jeremy Fain here, your 2025 HAR Engage Advisory Group Chair. I've got some exciting news. Tickets for 2025 HAR Engage Conference are officially on sale. This is the event to recharge your business, gain fresh insights, and connect with incredible professionals across our industry. Whether you're just starting your real estate journey or you're a seasoned pro, HAR Engage has something for everyone. Plus, with countless networking opportunities, you'll connect with tons of like-minded real estate professionals. Don't wait. Grab your tickets now at har.com/engage and get ready to be inspired. I'll see you there.
Realtors, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is on November 20th.
At the Houston Community Collective from 9:30 to 3:30. It's the 2025 Housing Symposium, and it's going live.
The theme, mission, possible. The challenge, Houston's housing market. The objective, actionable strategies and real results.
You'll hear from expert speakers, dive into panel discussions, and get insights from the leaders shaping the future of housing.
Network with the top professionals, tackle critical issues, and leave ready to make an impact. Every move counts.
So mark your calendars. Gear up. The 2025 Housing Symposium, Mission Possible.
And remember, failure is not an option.
I think when I started using har.com, it just felt a lot more local. So having that local approach with more information about living in this area, that was important, information that I wasn't seeing elsewhere. I found my dream home. I love living here, and it's all because of har.com.
Good morning and welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Director of Social Media and Sponsorships for HAR. With Veterans Day approaching, we are joined today by Elisa Linton. She is the president of the Houston chapter for VAREP. We're going to talk about how realtors can better serve veteran clients, from understanding VA loans to building trust and supporting their path to home ownership. Welcome to the program, Elisa.
Thank you, Christina, and thank you, HAR, for this amazing opportunity.
Absolutely. We're so happy to have you here. As we know, Veterans Day is next week, so it just feels like the perfect time to have this conversation with you and hear about some of the work VAREP does. Let's jump right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and your role with VAREP?
Awesome. So yes, again, my name is Elisa Linton. I am currently the VAREP Houston president, 2025-2026. And so my background is sales and marketing. I've been in real estate for about 8 years now. I'm currently with Compass Real Estate. So it has been, just a wild ride. Real estate is nothing that is easy. You just keep tackling it. I am a Army combat vet. So naturally, working with veterans just came easy. Um, Working in the industry, I've had to learn how to service our veterans. So, a lot of times when I'm interested in something, I join the organization. So I've been with VAREP Houston for about 4 years now. And every year, I'm constantly learning better ways to serve my military community.
Wonderful. And there's so much opportunity for that. And of course, thank you for your service and your time today and your work with VA Rep. It's exciting that you've been a part of the group for 4 years and now you're serving as president. That truly shows passion. So tell us a little bit about VA Rep. What's VA Rep's mission and how does this organization support veterans and the real estate community?
Absolutely. So the VREP's mission is to improve the lives of veterans through education, housing, economic development, and philanthropy. So, I mean, just in a nutshell, right? Since I've been a part of this organization, I have seen them contribute back to the community in the most amazing ways. They have partnered with companies who believe in giving back to those that serve. As far as education, as a realtor, there was a lot of things that when I purchased my first house that my realtor did not know as far as what to give me during my VA loan process. So as a realtor now, it's important for me to make sure that I'm doing a much better job that I receive. So the realtor education and knowledge resources that they give us outseeds anything else that I've seen out there in the industry. So that's why I'm super excited to be a part of VA Rep and continue my partnership with them because they actually believe in putting the veterans first.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Do you find that most veterans are very well aware of their benefits and things like VA loans, or is this something that really they need, the realtors and different industry partners to kind of help with or maybe guide them with?
We need help. We need all the help that we can get. So when you get out of the military, you have out processing. It's not the best. It's a lot of information that's being thrown at you. But if you think about it, you're coming out of a combat zone. You're probably thinking about going home to meet your family. So even if the information is given to you, you're not really processing it at that time, right? So when you do need to dive into these benefits, then you really need someone that's properly educated to take your hand and get you across the finish line. And that's what VA Rep is all about, is we're going to be the subject matter expert to help you, in the areas that, you're not as proficient as you need to be, right? That's the job as the realtor, to be the one that knows how to get you through the process and make it as painless as possible. So we've attended a lot of different resource fairs, and oftentimes I meet so many veterans that I ask, the first thing they say is, "Oh, I've used my benefit already." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I follow up with the question, "Do you know you can use it again?" And they're like, "Huh?" So right then and there, they're like, "Well, wait, tell me more." So there's service members coming out of the services every day. So our mission will never end. We're constantly needing to make contact with everyone, as soon as we can, as soon as they're ready to use these benefits, we need to be right there in order to service them.
Wonderful. Well, I have a lot more questions, for you this morning. But as we get into this conversation, as a veteran, as a realtor, as a homeowner, what does this conversation mean to you personally? And again, just really help us understand why this topic is so important, especially for people serving the veteran community here in Houston.
So, when you agree to join the military, you don't really understand sometimes what you're doing, but we are actually standing up and we are deciding to defend our country, to keep war and acts of terrorism and violence away from the people that we love. This is a pretty big deal. So when I hear some people say, well, oh, the VA loan, the veteran doesn't have skin in the game, they have skin in the game, right? When I served my 12 months in Iraq, that's 12 months that my family did not know every day if they were going to ever see me again. So when we come home and we decide that we want to purchase a home and have a chance at that American dream and have a place that our families can be safe if we have to go back out to serve our country, that right there is the reason why VAREP is here, is so that when you're out serving your country, your family members, your kids, your wife, your parents can be someplace safe. And that way you can focus on the mission, keeping America safe. So it takes the American dream to another level, in my opinion, for veterans.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. What's one thing you wish more realtors knew about working with veteran clients?
Just even the loan process, right? So oftentimes when we're submitting contracts, we have realtors that just believe, oh, the VA loan, it takes a long time. Oh, the process is tedious. It may not close. And they're giving their sellers, the feeling that this loan type may not be one that they want to consider. And in actuality, it is the loan that they want to consider. I mean, who wouldn't want to sell their home to a veteran?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought we had frozen there for just a second. So now, give us, because the VA loans, as you're saying, can be maybe misinterpreted, maybe confusing or misunderstood. So can you give us just a quick overview of how VA loans work and how they differ from conventional loans?
Okay. So a couple of the big things, right? A VA loan for the veteran does not have the private mortgage insurance, right? So that helps the veteran to save money throughout the process. A VA loan also, the veteran can finance up to 100%, right? So some sellers think, well, oh, that's putting me at risk. It doesn't mean that the veteran does not have to put earnest money down, but what it means is that they can finance up to 100% of their loan, right? So the VA has a percentage, it has a calculation that they're able to back a percentage of the loan. So this loan is actually a little bit more secure than an FHA and a conventional loan, right? So typical in FHA, you're required to put about 3.5% down. Conventional, there's a 3%, but 5%. So that 100% financing is game changer for a veteran as well. Some other things is, the loan process protects the veteran. So, we want to make sure that we have a termite inspection done. Want to make sure that we're putting the veteran in a safe home, right? So some other loan products do not have those requirements, right? So it's just like anything that you get into, right? The more layers that it has, it offers protection to the end user. So the VA loan program is designed to make sure that it's protecting the interests of the veteran and their family.
Very good. Thank you. You've shared a few already, but are there any other common misconceptions that realtors or consumers have about VA loans?
Absolutely. Some that definitely we talked about. We just came from our national convention in San Diego, and a lot of people were amazed that the VA loan program does not have a loan limits. So sometimes people think, oh, the VA, you can only buy a starter home, right? And that's not actually true. There is no limits to your VA benefits, right? If you can afford the property, you can purchase it, with your home loan benefit. So right now they're going up to 3.5 million and more. So we had records of people using their VA benefits to purchase a home over $4 million. Okay, so when you look at a VA offer, don't think that it's just for first-time home buyers, right? So yes, someone can actually get a home well over $3.5 million. So that's a big thing. A lot of times people think the VA loan, you have to have a minimum credit score of 620. Those are individual lender overlays, okay? The VA itself does not have a minimum credit score. Okay, because we understand service members that are coming out that may not have an opportunity to get credit cards, or secure a healthy line of credit. So there are different factors that they can use to qualify veterans that have not had if they're in the military, they may not have a car because they're on base. They may not have rental history because they're living on base. So yes, we're not going to penalize them for that. There are different formulas that we can use to help establish credit for them, so that we can get them approved for a home loan.
Very good. Thank you so much. I wanted to take a quick moment to look, because I know we've had some comments come in. And if you have any questions, please type those in and we'll get to them. First of all, I want to thank a few people for their service here. Christopher Robinson says he's a veteran. Nikki Weish said my husband is a Navy veteran. So we've got people tuning in this morning that I'm sure are very interested in what we're talking about. And actually, both Nikki and Christopher were asking about how to join VAREP. So I'm sure we'll get into that in a little bit, and you can tell us all about what you guys are offering. Leanna says she is a lender who closes VA loans with low credit score. So just as you were saying, it is possible when you find that lender that is willing to work with you. Cindy says she comes across this a lot and she loves working with VA loans. So that's good to hear. And then Shannon just said, good morning, everyone. Thank you for your service, Elisa. So definitely agree with her there. Now, if you have any other questions, please type those in and we'll get to as many as we can. As I said, let's talk about any other challenges. What are some challenges that veterans often face when they're trying to buy or sell a home?
So a lot of times if the lenders, we found some lenders they're not familiar with the VA home loan process, and they tend to they're more comfortable with FHA and conventional. And because of that, they tend to steer the veterans to that loan product, right? So again, we're dealing with someone that is not aware of their benefits, not aware of how it impacts them, throughout the loan process. So if they get with a lender, I would say for veterans, it's important for you to vet your lenders, right? Ask your lenders how many VA home loans have they closed, or how comfortable are they with their VA home loans? And then also understand that you can reach out to any one of us at VAREP and ask us questions, right? We have lender partners that we work with that we knows VA loan process. We'll be sure to share that information with you. Even as part of our membership, we always mention you don't have to be a veteran to be a part of VAREP Houston. All you need to do is be someone that is wanting to serve the veteran community. That's the only requirement for our membership. The membership right now, it's $99 for the year. And so we have every different industry that's part of our membership right now. So as far as classes, we are offering, we have what's called the MVHC, Military Veteran Housing Certificate. It is an 8-hour CE course, and we will be teaching that course next year. So, and we have one for lenders as well. So any lenders that are interested in getting that information, they could reach out to us and we could put a class together and definitely share that information with you. One of the lenders I met at National mentioned that she was so impressed with the information that she received that she realized that she still had a lot to learn, right? So it's part of our duty to continue our education. Even I took the course again. We take it every 2 years, and I'm constantly learning new things. So the mission does not end. The continuing education needs to be at the forefront of your industry so that you can continue to provide the best service.
Thank you so much. And we did share a link to varep.net in the comments for anyone who wants to go check them out or become a member or look at their educational opportunities that they have available there as well. We did have a question that came in from Irene. Irene was asking if your husband passed away and the benefits were never used, can a wife or a widow or widower, can they still utilize those benefits from their spouse that passed away?
Yes. So the surviving spouse, if you have not remarried, you can definitely use your the benefits, right? So again, Make sure that when you're talking to a lender that you're going to have to answer all their questions, provide all the correct documentation. So just be prepared for that. But yes, absolutely, as long as you have not remarried.
Very good. What are some best practices for building trust with veteran clients?
We've learned that, it's kind of being a part of an organization, right? If you like, well, first of all, let me say shout out, happy 250th birthday to Army, Marines, and Navy. Okay, so just knowing those things, right? You can make a connection with a veteran because we all have someone that served in our family. So it's not something that is just like, oh, we have no idea, right? So even if you spoke to someone in your family that have served and just kind of get an idea of what it's like to serve, that makes a difference in the conversation you have with a veteran. So if you can level the plane a little bit, go out of your way to let them know that you truly care and what they did means something to you, that would definitely give you an advantage in being the realtor of choice that they choose to work with.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So you mentioned some training opportunities through VAREP. Are there any local resources or programs in the Houston area that can help veterans with homeownership?
There's a lot of information out there, and sometimes information is just not it's not easily understood, right? I just believe what that some of the information that VA Rep is offering is easy to digest. Locally, we have Zoom classes every week. And we have Chris, he's one of our board members. He definitely brings the information down to a level that everyone could understand, right? And easy to retain. And then we're looking at some other classes as well in order to continue to bring that information down to a local level for realtors and just repeating the information, right? Sometimes you might need to hear it 2 or 3 times before it sinks in. Another big thing that veterans they're afraid to cross that finish line is the appraisal, right? They get a little nervous with, is it going to appraise? Is it going to meet the requirements, right? So one of the classes that we have for 2026, I think we're going to try to put that class on twice, is the VA appraisal class. We've had very good success with that class in the past. So we do know it's information that would definitely make a difference in the loan process for our local realtors.
Wonderful. That sounds wonderful. And of course, again, you can check out VAREP's website, varep.net. We have it linked in the comments for you. And just tell us, Elisa, how can realtors get involved with VAREP or support VAREP's mission?
Awesome. So we do have sponsorship and partnership opportunities, right? So if anyone's interested, you can email me, Elisa at varephouston.org, get a copy of our sponsorship packages. We have monthly mixers, and we give opportunities to title reps, lenders, inspectors, car dealerships, florists, any industry. Again, you just need to want to work with the veteran community. Okay. So we have sponsorship opportunities that you can participate in any of our mixers, and we even have annual sponsorships available as well. This helps us with our vet cares, which is where we either identify a local veteran or a veteran family in need, and it gives us an opportunity to find out what their need is and see how we can fulfill that need. So 2026, we're going to start putting out some fillers for our vet care program, and we want to be able to extend that do good to more veteran families in our community.
I love that. That's wonderful that you have that in place. And again, with Veterans Day coming up, quickly approaching here, what's one simple thing a realtor can do today or this week to honor and support veteran clients?
Oh, wow. I would say for realtors out there, just even giving a veteran a hug. Just even simple. With this economy, everything has just been so uncertain. Everyone is just, we're just not as maybe as thrilled about life as we want to be. And just being in the room with those veterans in San Diego, that gave us hope. That gave us, the little oomph that we needed in order to get back in the grind, get back in the game. So just telling a veteran, hey, I'm in this fight with you, I think that would make a difference for veterans, just in our community and all around. Just letting them know, hey, I'm in this fight with you.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I would also suggest hopping in on those weekly webinars or those monthly mixers. Nikki was saying that she wants to serve veterans. Where can she sign up for the mixers that you mentioned?
Yeah, so you can email me, Elisa at VAREPHouston.org, and I can send you our 2026 business plan and get you on our constant contact list. So that way you would know about all the events that we have. We'll have monthly mixers, we have quarterly events, and then we may do one big event for the year. So definitely once you get on our list, you'll have all the information. So any event that we have, you do not need to be a member. However, membership does have its privileges. For VAREP Houston, we try for most of our events not to charge our members. We only charge non-members. So you pay the $99, and most of our events are covered underneath your membership. But if you choose not to be a member and just give it a test ride, just know we require just a small donation from you to get you started.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. We had another question come in, which I'm glad that we had this one come in because we didn't touch on this. One of the things that we sometimes hear about VA loans is new construction, that new construction is not eligible. Can you share any information there? Israel saying someone once told me they visited a new construction home. Even after mentioning they were a veteran, they were told they'd still need a down payment. Is that possible? So how does that loan work with new construction?
Yeah, so remember, right? Each lender is different, okay? So the overlays are different. This is not the Veteran Association's requirement, okay? So as the realtor professional, your job is to try to educate that lender or builder in this case and let them know the difference between the VA home loan, okay? So I've worked with builders and they have required, I've gotten them to reduce the earnest money by 50% or more because my client was a veteran. So it all depends on the conversation, and your negotiating skills with that lender will determine what you're able to do. Now, if the lender is deciding, hey, we definitely require this down payment, then there's probably not a way to get around it. However, you can still talk to that lender and see if you can get them to do up to 100% financing. And that way, that earnest money can be returned to the veteran at closing. Okay, so there's more than one ways to deal with this. But just remember that these are overlays from the builder or the lender, but it's not a VA requirement.
Very good. Well, it sounds like having a good lender partner is key here. And I think that's where those mixers and those different educational events that you have, that really comes into play so that you can build those relationships with those industry partners.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Elisa, for joining us and sharing such valuable insight. We've got a lot of comments coming in saying this was great information. So we really appreciate everything you've shared. Again, if you want to learn more about VAREP or get involved, visit varep.net. We do have it linked in the comments for you to make it that much easier. And before we go, I do want to mention next week we will be joined by George Barro with the Real Estate Center at Texas A&M University. We're going to hear an economic update for 2025 and his outlook for 2026. So be sure to mark your calendars to tune in next Monday at 9 a.m. Elisa, thank you again for your time today.
Thank you, Christina, and thank you, HAR.
Thank you, and have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.